Hello. In today's tutorial, we will learn about creation of a procurement package. There will be multiple steps in this. The very first step will be viewing the BOQ, understanding what all line items has been sent in the indent or the BOQ by the estimation team. Then we will understand what are the materials which are present in the BOQ, which have been marked either as a free issue material or as a base rate material. Then we will create a tender document, select the contractors whom we feel are suitable to participate in this bidding process. Then we will float the tender, receive the prices from them. If we find it good, we will go ahead with that. Otherwise, if required, we'll go for a rebidding process. In between, if there are any feedbacks or comments from the contractors, then we will do certain kind of tender addendums. After that, once all the prices have been received and they are within the range of the estimated price which we have set for the contract to be awarded, we will create the recommendation report and then finally award the work order. So let's go. For example, I have to create the work package for the project Build Supply Towers. So I'll click on the project. Here you can see I will land inside the project. I will see on which phase which I am working on. It should be marked active. The very first thing which I'll do is click on the bill of quantities. Now, for example, the bill of quantities which have been sent for my tender creation is sanitary works. So I'll go and click the sanitary works BOQ. I will read the line items which have been created in this. So there are 1, 2, 3, and then there are items in CP fittings 1 and 2, and quantities for clubhouse 1 and clubhouse 2 has been created. The total quantity is mentioned. The rate has been mentioned. If I go over here and if I click on the rate analysis, then I also have the rate analysis which has been taken care into creation of this estimate for the line item. Okay, when I'm okay with this, I'll come back to my phase. And very importantly, I go and visit the plan and schedule tab. In this, come down and click on component schedule. So I'll click on component schedule. Here I will see all the materials which are part of the line item scope. Here I can see the estimation team has marked 2 items as base rate materials, deluxe range wall wash basin and half ton wall mixer 2-in-1. The prices have been mentioned 3900 and 2800. Whereas there is a free issue material, ordinary Portland cement grade 43, the rate has been mentioned. The other materials which are part of the BOQs are mentioned, which is I'm not very much concerned about. However, I feel the base rate of the deluxe range wash basin has been incorrectly taken as 3,900. And in discussion with the estimation team, if I have the right, I will amend it or ask the estimation team to amend it. Now, what I have done, I have taken the permission for me to amend the rate. So I have updated this rate to 4,500 rupees. Let's come back to our phase. So it's very important to decide the materials, which will be the base rate materials and free issue materials. Let me go back and tell you how to mark a material as a base rate material. So when I'll go in the component schedule, and when I have the total list of material, there is a tag on the right hand side available, tag free issue material and tag base rate material. So I'll see all the material lists. And if I find that any material has been missed out as a free issue or as a base rate, then I will add that into base rate or free issue material. You will just have to click something as a base rate material and it will get tagged as a base rate material. Fine. So the next step is creation of procurement package. So after the bill of quantities, the next tab says procurement package. Click on that. So all procurement packages which have already in process will be visible to which you have an access. Let's create a package from the beginning by clicking on add BOQ. This is a package of sanitary works or houses of project by house. It's very important to write this label correctly because this is the very same label which will get printed on the work order which you will create later on. Now let's select the BOQ from which the line item has to be selected. I have used a drop down and I'm selecting the BOQ of sanitary work which I had seen in the BOQ. So I've selected that, the sanitary works BOQ, and then click add from section. What will add from section will do? It will show all the line items present in the BOQ to you, and that will populate in the screen. Yeah, so all the line items are visible over here. Now, what it is saying, it is asking you to do a tick box of this selection of the line item, which will become a part of this procurement package. You can select all the line items, or you can select some of the line items. What I have done, I have globally selected all of them. If I want, I can remove any one of that. That's up to me, but I want to keep all of them and click on confirm. The next page, it will give me the quantity distribution. Okay, so you see for each of the item, the quantities are mentioned over here and the total rate and amount and all those things are mentioned over here. If there are images, then that images also will be shown. So this is the image which has been provided with the faucet as a reference image for to be provided, which will go to the contractor also. Now, for this package, I do not want to award the complete faucet and wash basin work. I want to award it only for the tower clubhouse 1 and not for the clubhouse 2. So I'll click over here and I will make this quantity to 0 and click on save. Same way for the wash basin works, I'll click on this, make the clubhouse 2 quantities as 0 and click on save. So then my quantities got reduced over here. Okay, so this is done and this is the base estimated amount of the package. Click on this top hover button of package again. So sanitary work for clubhouse of project has been created. There are 5 line items in this. This is the estimated value. Now the very first step after this creation of package is to define the sourcing strategy. So BuildSupply allows you to have 3 sourcing strategies, which could be selected from the 3-dot menu over here. So just hover over on the right hand side, click over here, and a modal will open. And you can see there are 3 things written over here: mark as self-perform, mark as labor contract, and mark as contractor. Mark as self-perform means everything will be your liability, the labors, materials, plants, and equipments. Mark as labor contract, what it will do, all the material component in the rate analysis of the line items will automatically become free issue materials, and only the service scope will remain in the contractor scope. Whereas mark as contractor gives you the option to select part of the materials as free issue and part of the materials as the liability of the contractor. The base rate, to be very importantly, has to be selected before creation of the procurement package, which I showed you in the plan and schedule module. And the price for the base rate material also has to be defined over there. Okay, so what I'm doing, there is a delete option button, there is view package, view status. I'll show you all of these later on. Let's first mark it as a contractor. Now it is telling me what all materials do you want to issue as a free issue material. I will do class 1 UPVC pipe, CPVC pipe, and GI pipe as free issue materials. But let's do one thing. Just remove all of this. Just keep the GI light 150 mm dia pipe of class 1 as free issue material. So I'll click on that. Free issue material means the material which will be your liability to be provided to the contractor. So this has been created. Now I can see three buttons over here: create work order, create tender, and shortlist contractor. Now, build supply allows you to award work order in two different processes. One is you can go through an entire tendering and bidding process. And the other process is when you already have negotiated the prices with your contractor, contractor is known to you, you just want to create the work order in a lean process. Then select the create work order process. It will directly create a work order for a single contractor without going for the bidding process. Mind it, any of the two processes which you select is irreversible. So today, since we are learning about the bidding process, we will click on create tender. So as I click on create tender, it will land me to a four-step process. The first is the line items. So I have the line items visible over here to me. Okay. And you can see for some of the line items, rate breakup has already been defined by the estimation team. However, if I want to make any changes to that, I can make by clicking. So how I did that, I went to the three dot menu of the line item, clicked on add rate breakup. And if I want to make any changes over here, for example, testing and commissioning to be 10%, whereas supply to be made as, for this item, this is what I want to do. For the item of CPVC pipes, I want to change the rate breakup into 50, 40, and 10. Done. For the next item, we had marked the class 1 GI pipe as a free issue material. So that has been mentioned over here at the bottom. Okay. So everything else is all right. You can still change the quantities if you want. Cannot increase the quantity more than the BOQ quantity, but can decrease it to a quantity lesser than the BOQ. So in the BOQ, the total quantity is 183. In this package, the quantity has been already taken as 183 for Clubhouse 1 and similarly for Clubhouse 2. So I don't want to make any changes. Then I'll click on next. The next says commercial terms. So commercial terms are the one which will define the financial aspect of your tender. So there are some default commercial terms available over here given by Build Supply, or you can add your own over here. So if you see what will be the billing process, how many days the bill can be raised, how many days the payment will be done. Very importantly, if you want to make two important criteria, advances and retentions, to become an auto-calculated process during the invoicing process at Build Supply, please select it from the by default option given here and not create your own custom. So what I'll do, I'll create on advance. So this is the mobilization advance. Advance will be provided and black bracket percentage of the contract value. So I am saying it will be 7.5% and conditions will be, this is the advance. Correct. So I have added this as an item. Then I want to add retention. So then I'll add retention clause. The retention will be 5% for say, and there will be no relaxation. And I don't want to specify negation, so I'll just press a space bar and add this item also. So these two will get added as my commercial term. If I want to add any other custom term, then I'll add over here. I am just embedding it up. I don't know what exactly is used in the construction sector, but I'm just adding this as a custom term. Okay. Then for the list of materials, so it's asking me the list of make, specifically asking the brands which has to be specified. For the CPVC pipe, I am saying brand Phenolix as my preferred brand. And for the UPVC pipe also. So I don't need to add brands for all of them. I just need to add brands for the materials which I feel the contractor should follow. Okay, and for the deluxe range and half ton mixers, yes, we had made it as a base rate materials. So let's define the brands for this. So I'm saying Polar, Sarah. Same for the wall mixer, I am saying you can specify up to 5 brands for the for the materials which you are floating the tender for. The next comes the upload document process. So what we have done, we have created some default formats which you can select and upload the documents. Otherwise, if you want to add anything of your own, so for example, I want to here type drawings, click plus, it will get added. Select the file which I want to attach. So now what I want to do, I want to make safety rules and regulations mandatory for the contractor to submit the document. Submit as a document to be able to price the bid. Okay. So these things have been done. So my tender 4 steps are complete. Now I will click on send for approval. Now to whom it will go? Do I really know? So to know all that, let's pause for a moment and look at the organization chart which has been created for this. So I'll come back to my project, see who all users are there in my projects. So I have, this is me, then I have Deva Pandey, and I'm Shubham. And what role they have, that's been assigned over here. Come back. And on the same project dashboard, there is something called as approval flows. So either the approval flows would have been already created for you, or you have to create it on your own. So for the tendering process, there are 3 important approval flows which you have to take care. Tender, shortlist contractor, and contractor recommendation. So let's see for the tender. So this is the tender document approval. It's been already created. So let's see who is the user over here. So it has only one level approver, and Shubham Chauhan is the approver over here. I don't want to make any changes to this. Same way for shortlist contractor. If I click over here in view, so Shubham Chauhan has been put up over here as the project commercial manager for approving the contractors who will take part in the bid. And then finally, contractor recommendation, that is after the receiving of the bids, who all can uh, approve the recommendation. So I see this has first level as Shubham Chauhan, and then it has a level 2 of Hudaiva Pandit. So the recommendation report has to go through a 2-level approval flow, and then only I will be able to create the work order for that. So let's come back to my process. So I was in the procurement package. So now you see that create work order option is gone, and let me complete the tender. So I was already working on that. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and here I will click on send for approval. So yes, as soon as you click, whatever was selected over there in the approval flow will get automatically selected. And for approval, I'll come back to my packages, and I will now for the same. So it says send for approval by Rahul Sinha tender to Shubham Chauhan. I will shortlist the contractors who can take part in my bid. Okay, so when I'll come over here, it will give me the list of the contractors which I have in my organization, registered in my organization. Fetch the package value, put up a tentative float date, a tentative award date. I want to award it by the end of the month. Okay, and select the rules which you want to set for this shortlisting of the contractor. So I've already selected that the single largest executed work should be greater than or equal to 75% of the estimated cost of tender work. So what it means, the contractor should have done a work more than 75% of the estimated package. Then the contractor should have a registered license for construction. There are other rules. I can just select any of that and make it part of the contracting process. So I don't want to make any changes. So let's select few of the contractors. Yeah. So the first contractor I want to select is Build Private Limited. To select this, it says pre-qualified. So the contractor has already submitted their documents and it has been verified on this date and time by Rahul. So I'll click on the plus button. Now, I had set some criteria and it is matching and it's giving me a tick mark. And what is the value of that particular person is also recorded over here. I can download what is the pre-qualification criteria which the platform is giving, and I'll add this vendor to become part of the bidding process. The second vendor I want to add is Delhi Contractor. This also is pre-qualified. So I guess there are no information available for this. Still want to add this. I don't want to put any comment also. I just simply want to add this. So these are the two contractors which I have selected and I want to send them for approval. Same way, Shubham is approved. And for approval, I can withdraw and make any changes if required. I'll come back over here to my package. So if you just see this package and you see the three dot menu over here, I can view the tender. I can still make the contractor shortlisting and I can still add some of the contractors to it. If you click over here, click on package trail. It will show what all status work which you have done. So this was created on the sourcing strategy mark, tender created, been sent for approval, shortlist contractor has been sent for approval. You can download this audit trail. Okay. So now what I will do, I will log in from the approvers end and show you the process. Yeah. So I have logged into the approver side and he has received two notifications. Shortlist contractor for tender of package this of project this has been sent for his approval and tender document for this has been sent for approval. So I can directly click over here or I can go through the project way. So I'll click on the project. I want to go through the regular method, click on the procurement package. Now it shows approve shortlist contractor and approve the tender documents. View tender also. So I'll click on approve tender documents. It's very importantly, you see all the details. So this says that these are the line items which are there. So I'll go review all of them. How much quantities have been there? What is the total package value which is there has been mentioned over here. The next is the commercial terms. So I have to either approve or reject these. So what I'll do, I'll approve all. So all got approved. The stamp gets recorded. So I'll read all of them. And if I'm not okay with that, I'll reject and send back the tender document to the creator. But I'm for now approving everything. List of make, I will only see the list of makes which were added and not all of them. So I'm approving all of these. And next is approval of the documents which have been attached. So safety rules and regulations was there and drawings were there. So at each level, I have to approve these and then only the final approval button will come. There's an option of approve, reject, and delegate. Delegate basically means you want somebody with their similar capacity to review the thing which has been sent for your approval. However, we have not selected that option for now, so delegate will not work. I'll simply approve the standard document. So I'll come back to the package over here. So this has been approved. If you just click over here and click on the view tender approval flow. So it says sent by Rahul, please approve and approved by Shubham. And it took me 7 minutes from the time it was sent and approved and the remarks been created and I can download this as a PDF. Okay. Whereas if I go back and from here, if I want to see the agency shortlisting approval flow, so it says it was sent by Rahul in the stated time, pending for my review. Okay. So you get to track the details. Now I'll go back and what I will do, I will approve all. Okay. If I want to enter a remark, over here also. Otherwise, there is a modal which will open. Okay, so this is the comment which I put, and that gets recorded over there. Okay, so both the things have been approved by me. It's very important that the tender documents and the shortlisting contractor both are approved, and then only the tender can be floated. So now let's go back to my profile and see what are the steps. Okay, so I have got the notification shortlisting contractor has been approved and tender has been approved. Okay, so I'll go and check my all these things which you are receiving on the right hand side will also come to you as an email. And now it has been approved and I will get a button of float tender. So I'll click on float tender. Okay, so it says tender for this work, 5 line items, commercial terms, list of makes. By default, all the contractors will come as not invited. You'll have to specifically select on invite bid. Okay, and then give a bid closing date. So let's give it for tomorrow. Let's give it 5 days. Sorry, 6 days. And that's I require a bid opening date. That if that option is selected, then only when all the participants are there and the bid opening date has come, then only I can open the bid. So let's select that and select Rahul Shubham as a participant. And I'll select 16th and him as the bid opening date. Then bid clarification closing date. That is the time till when the some vendors can submit their clarifications. That I will keep it till Monday 13th. Time. Right? Okay, so everything's done. I have the line items. I've invited these two participants. I can still like not parts ask anyone. Don't select the option of add bid. Add bid means you want to put the prices on behalf of the vendor. That's not advisable. That was the process we created earlier, but we are now removing it. And so you only have the option of invite bid and not invite the bid from a set contractor. You select the users in your tender opening committee. If you want to have more people in your tender opening committee, then it means that user need to be given access to your project, and then only they will be able to be part of the tender opening committee. And I'll click on float tender. It says tender for this package has been floated successfully to these contractors. Okay, so it's done. If I'll come to my package and try to see the audit trail. So if I'll click on view package trail, it has now tender got approval, tender floated, R0 to this agency and this agency. Okay. Now the float tender option is still there. View tender bid option is there. Of course, we know the bids have not been submitted. Shortlist contractor is still there because even after floating the bid, I want to still add some of the contractors. I can do that and then float the tender again. So yes, what I will do, I will click on shortlist contractor, edit this, add a new contractor. This is not matching the values which I had set the criteria for, but I got in this. Realize that 3 vendors are minimum required for my package as per my company's policy. So I have to send this again for approval. So I have to wait for this approval to happen. So the first 2 are already approved, while the third one I have to wait for an approval. So I'll get the third vendor approved in a similar way. Just wait. Okay, so I've got the third vendor approved and I want to float the package again. So I'll click on float tender and I'll add this third participant. Date and time has already been there, so everything else remains the same. And I'll click on float tender. So now it has been floated to 3 bidders. Okay, so if I now go and check in my audit trail, So it has been sent to. So I, after floating, so it records everything. I added a vendor later on, sent it for, and sent it later on. That has been got approved. Okay, so the tender has been floated out. When the participants will submit the prices to you or submit a query, you will get a reply, and we will see the details of that in the next video. Thank you so much.